entered the world on the 27th of December in 1822 in the city of Dole. I was only a normal boy who spent most of his spare time fishing at the local lake. Chemistry was one of my later interests, as well as other natural sciences. And when I was advised to study at the most prestigious university in France, I hardly had anything better to do anyway.
Louis Pasteur, I am very, very pleased with your progress, and I would advise you to study at France's most prestigious university.
Little did I know that my studies would give my coincidental discoveries credibility.
I was one of the first people to actually study the molecules that build up everything around us, and therefore I noticed obvious things. For example, the fact that two molecules that are each other's mirror images have different abilities. But I guess that as I often was renowned for saying, in the fields of observation, chance favors only the prepared mind. And when I one day accidentally left a bottle of wine on the stove before examining it, I discovered that all bacteria that I usually saw in the wine was gone, which of course led to the conclusion that heating a substance to a certain temperature would remove all dangerous bacteria. Apparently these microorganisms didn't simply appear randomly in the wine as many had thought, which is what I discovered when I compared the opened wine bottle with a non-opened one. Any moron could have found the consistencies in the tests and drawn the same conclusions that I did, but again, in the fields of observation, chance favors only the prepared mind. Luck was on my side the entire time. When I for once left my laboratory for a small vacation, my clumsy assistants forgot about the chicken cholera test cultures that we were using to test chicken cholera. And when I got home for my vacation again, my assistants could only provide me with an old culture.
How are my test cultures doing? Fine. Fine. There you go. Oh, brilliant!
And when I injected the chicken with this culture, it didn't die as I had expected. I realized that the culture had weakened while it wasn't being upheld. So I produced a new culture and injected it into the same chicken, but the chicken still didn't die. This made me discover that the weaker culture also protected you from a stronger one. I called this process vaccination, and I received lots of credit for it. And so, coincidentally, I was the one who got the praise for all these discoveries, just by knowing how to use a microscope, but also by having that very prepared mind that I had. But I embraced the fame. And when people continued to give me tasks that only required me to use my microscope, I continued to solve problems easily, thereby acquiring even greater fame. And so during my life, I made many a discovery that anyone could have made, had they had a microscope. But I was the guy with the microscope all along, and that is what made me the great man that I was. My discoveries include, but are not limited to, the cause of fermentation, vaccination, and pasteurization, which was actually named after me. Now sadly, I'm dead, and I've been since 1895. I also told people to wash their hands.